Are you ready for a TXC Championship beatdown? Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing you the first fighter putting it on the line for the vacant heavyweight belt, Mike Wojo Wojowski.
All right. Mike Wojowski coming to us out of Spider Submission Systems, James Gray's school. And those of you who know the grappling game in Michigan, James Gray is about as good as it gets, right up there with John Pope. He just won his entry into the Abu Dhabi Grappling Championship tournament, which is a huge deal in the grappling world, so we're looking for big things from him. But his prodigy has been Wojo, Mike Wojowski, out of that school. This guy, he does it all. He's got very heavy hands, big kicks, and absolutely he moves on the ground like somebody 50 pounds light.
Right, exactly. He's coming to us with an undefeated record, 7-0, 3 by submission, and 2 TKOs. His last fight, winning by submission by triangle choke in the first round. Now, he weighed at 243, but that's exactly what he walks around at. He's about 20 pounds lighter than his opponent, but standing at 6'5". So, I mean, he's a massive man. And that's, if you're going to be a heavyweight, that's the height you want to be. That's the size you want to be. They're both putting their undefeated records on the line. They're both 7-0. So someone's O is going to go, and we're going to see what kind of background experience those 7 fights are proving to be tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're going to love this guy's jab. The first time he sticks it out there, I think you're going to be very, very impressed. And I'll tell you what, for 240 pounds, he's very lean.
Yeah.
And now, introducing you the next fighter putting it on the line for his vacant heavyweight belt. Put your hands together for Jerry the Moon Waterson.
And real quick, I gotta apologize. I said Spider, it's Scorpion Fighting System. Sorry, James, don't choke me or anything.
All right, Jerry Waterson now coming in at 263 pounds out of the Fight Club. Again, as I said, 7-0. Both these guys 7-0. He's got 5 TKOs, 2 by straight up KO. He's been training for about 3 years in MMA, and that's the record he's accumulated.
I'll tell you what, he hits. I mean, the guy could knock down buildings. He's like the juggernaut from X-Men. I mean, you do not want to be on the wrong end of that big shot of his. It will put you out in a hurry.
I don't want to be on any end of 263 pounds. I don't care if it's an arm punch. I don't want to be on the other side of it. A little bit shorter, 6'2", but again, as we said, 20 pounds heavier than Mike Wojowski that's in there right now. So I think Vance, the referee, may have his work cut out for him. He's got some big boys in there right now.
Well, and Mike especially will use every inch of the cage, so you don't want to be in between. 600 pounds, 500.
What a great crowd in here tonight, too. I mean, they have their favorites, and they let it be known, especially if the judge, they don't like the judge's decision. It's been a rumble.
Absolutely standing room only in this place right now.
And what a respectful crowd, too, though. They're just loving what they're seeing tonight. But, I mean, we've had 9 fights, and they've been all fantastic fights.
Well, see, that's part of it. That's part of it when you say respect. Normally, your 3 main events would be coming 13, 14, and 15, and the beer would have been flowing for a little bit longer.
Yeah, true.
So I think that's helped us a little bit. I am so sad that the Moose is wearing compression shorts.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your championship TXC belt on the line right now. And time for your TXC formal introductions. First, introducing the fighter standing to my left, fighting out of the right corner. Weighing in at 243 pounds. Standing 6'5", putting his perfect 7-0 record on the line tonight. He's represented by the Scorpion Fighting System, fighting out of Howard, Michigan. Mike Wojo Hosting. And now, introducing the fighter standing to my right, fighting out of the blue corner. Weighing in at 264 pounds. Standing 6'2", putting his perfect 7-0 record on the line tonight. He's represented by the Fight Club Proving Ground, fighting out of Waterson, Michigan. Jerry the Moose Waterson.
Okay, guys, this fight's for the heavyweight belt. We've been over the rules. Any questions from the red corner? Any from the blue corner? Touch gloves here. It's mouth fighting.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody's must go.
Man, I think if these guys are challenging for the stare down competition, they both win. It's been pretty vicious.
Well, you know what's funny is these guys, they've got a lot of respect for each other, and it's been nothing but classy beforehand. And, you know, they're talking about getting a beer afterwards.
All right, so we have Wojciechowski in the white trunks, and in the compression red, we have Jerry Waterson.
And you can see Jerry just looking to stalk in and drop one big shot as Wojo circles on the outside, going high, going low.
You know, Wojo doing a great job of making everything count, and that's what you want to establish right in the beginning of this fight, is everything has some bad intention on it.
Well, and now you can see the moose there, Jerry Waterson, getting a little bit frustrated, trying to wade in a little bit more intense now.
You know, and it shows Wojo's been working on fighting the southpaw. He's using his hooks, his right hand. He's circling left. He's doing a great job at his movement against the southpaw.
Spinning back fist that lands on the shoulder. That could have been a fight ender.
Everything Wojo is doing is right. You know, and some people get overwhelmed fighting an unorthodox fighter like the Moose, like someone coming in as a southpaw. But everything he's executing is right.
And look at the red across the chest of Jerry Waterson. Those shots land with heavy intensity.
Beautiful. He posted with the left hand, came with the right hand, and now throwing combinations.
And smelling blood. Wojciechowski, though, finding out exactly how strong Jerry Waterson is. Good job switching up the direction of that takedown quickly into a mount. Now taking his time, establishing positions, and all those knees high.
You know, as you said, the strength of the Moose is his power, but he hasn't been able to land anything or throw anything.
I can tell you, he's never had anybody on him who can submit like Wojciechowski. Watch as he turns through here looking to set up his triangle. The problem, though, setting a triangle against somebody so big is you just can't get around their shoulders. Turning for the armbar now. And you can tell Jerry Waterson is just in defense mode at this point as Wojo looks to come up. Did a great job. Look at that, blocking that slam and rolling into top position. Running a clinic, and that is all James Grace tutelage there in the mat. On the mat.
Wojciechowski just so quick and so fast, transitions so well, and he thinks 10 steps ahead of where you are.
Oh, absolutely, because he's not thinking about what to do now. He's working principles, dynamics, and transitions, and very methodically working his game here. Jerry's in a lot of trouble.
You know, and I'm sure Jerry just surprised that he hasn't been able to do much, get anything off, and even with Wojciechowski breaking that fall, he wasn't able to capitalize on that.
Now, Wojo's got to be careful. Jerry looking to use that strength to push out the back. 10 seconds, he's not going to have time to set up that arm triangle. But this first round, very one-sided, Carol.
Domination, just a complete domination. Jerry Waterson's corner is going to really have to step up and get him actually firing in there because he's going to have to do something. He's going to have to provide some offense.
The problem is he doesn't know how to get inside the range of that 6'5", Mike Wojciechowski, he's absolutely put him in the rocking chair. He's going high, he's going low, he's coming on both sides.
And the scary thing about Wojciechowski is that you have to watch for his feet and his knees. So you can't just shoot. You can't even almost set up a shot. You can't go low. You know, you can't slip jab. You've got to be watching everything that Wojo puts in front of you.
And you can't muscle him either. Jerry Waterson tried muscling him around on the side of the cage. And, he switched directions. Mike switched directions on him, brought it to the ground, and had him defending submissions from the time they hit the ground till the time the ref separated them at the end of the round.
But what Jerry really has to do right now, and I know it's unfortunate, sometimes we have to do this in the fight sport, you got to take a punch and go in. And there's times when Wojo is catching him, he's got to take that shot, and he's got to burst forward and catch Wojo when he's a little bit vulnerable, because that's really his option right now.
Well, now Wojo settled in.
Right there, and that's what he did. He came forward off of the shot. But
and he saw Mike slip off to the side and bring up a big uppercut.
Beautiful, yeah. And he's responding so well. Wojo adapting.
He does a good job of getting under those outside with his punches of Jerry's. They're just so slow and moving.
You know, the way Wojo's reacting to everything that Jerry does is really stymieing Jerry. But Jerry's doing the right thing. You know, he's taking some shots and he's trying to come in. He's trying to close a gap and do something.
Well, he's trying to get.
He's got to answer back. He's got to answer back when Wojo throws at him. He's got to fire back. That's the only option that he has.
Mike's got great head movement off the punch.
Yep.
There's nothing there to hit.
But you can go to the body, go right to the chest region. If the head's moving, the body's going to be right there. Clean, accurate shots, mixing stuff up.
And again, 2 more. But Wojciechowski at this point is looking a little fatigued.
Yeah. Like, when you're throwing all the punches, doing all the work, and you got to push that big guy off you sometimes, too, it's going to be tiring. And you can see that the fatigue right there with that right hand came in super slow. That's why Jerry was able to close the gap.
Well, Wojciechowski now on the side of the cage is Jerry Waterson. Makes him carry all 260-plus pounds on the side of the cage. And if you were fatigued before you had to carry that move, right, you are in trouble after.
Hopefully he's able to catch some air here, open up his lungs a little bit, and come back firing. Advanced checking to see if that punch was a little bit low, but Wojo said we're okay. Great spin off, circling around.
Finally able to create some separation. I'll tell you what, the moose backs up every time he throws that kick, and that is the exact opposite of how you survive that.
Right, you got to smother it. Coming in with that straight right hand, exactly what you do to a southpaw, perfect, and he's right on the button.
How about the accuracy of those punches?
I know, it's super accurate, which is more difficult with these little gloves, but he's doing a great job.
Now remembering that he needs to take it low also.
Doing the smart thing, Wojo getting his breath, taking a deep breath in through his nose, trying to fill his lungs up. Oh, and see, when he pivoted his head around, that's when Jerry should have jumped on him, but he allowed Wojo to attack.
The problem is that Jerry's always on his heels when that opportunity comes up, and you got to keep on your toes if you're going to come forward.
That's a very good point.
Again, Wojo just on the side of the cage, a little stymied by the strike. This is what we saw in the first round where he changed directions.
Let's see if he can bring some knees. There they are.
10 seconds.
10 seconds. Obviously, he'll be able to weather this storm. I think Wojo heard the 10 seconds and just said, I'm just going to chill for a bit.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think those heavy knees coming in laterally across his left leg took their toll on him also.
And that's the thing, when you have a guy that's 20 pounds heavier than you, a massive heavyweight, you don't get a time, you don't get a break. Even if it's a 10 seconds, you've got to be careful and leery of everything because you don't want those to pay dividends into the next round.
Well, we could be even here, Tara. Depending on how those judges scored the end of that round.
Yeah, I still think that Wojo picked up that round. He did too much damage in the first 3 quarters of it.
Look for Waterson to come out and put an end to it because he thinks he has to, and he may be right about that. And Mike Wojciechowski, on the other hand, he's got to suck it up and just go out there and continue to put together the volume to keep this, this fight, the momentum moving in the direction that he needs it to.
I think Jerry has got to come out and just push the pace the best that he can do, and I know he's going to get tagged, he's going to eat a lot of shots for it, but this is what he's just going to have to do, because Wojo Husky is just, his movement is fantastic, his accuracy is right there, and he's doing exactly what you do with Southpaw.
Well, Jerry Waterson has absolutely demonstrated that he can take a punch.
Yeah. You know, he doesn't even really look phased. I mean, he looks a little tired because it's the third round, but that's about it. You know, and what's great about both of these guys, they've been close to getting hit low, and neither of them responded. They just keep fighting.
Well, Wojo definitely fatigued now at this point. He's got to do something here to get off of the side of the cage and try to drag this to the ground where he's definitely got an advantage. I'd let Jerry take you down at this point. Not like that, though. You cannot cover up and win this fight.
No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to, as much as if you think you have 2 rounds in the bank, you do not want to let this guy do damage to you. He's too big.
Well, he had an opportunity there when Jerry was up on that left foot. But now that he's tightened up everything, just bringing big leather, Mike's got to start worrying about putting the referee in a position where he's got to make a decision.
You know, and that's a really good point. That's the worst thing that you could do. Even if you feel you're okay, you don't think you're getting hit that hard with these shots.
That's exactly what's about to happen. Wojo just all covered up here. Dan Swerden ready to dive in.
And you almost wonder if he just doesn't have the energy to make a change and make something different. Oh, man. That is not the fight you want to lose when you looked that fantastic.
Oh, absolutely not. And that was all an energy level issue. He just ran out of gas.
Wow. You know, that is a massive win.
Let me go back and rephrase that. A lot of that was energy, but you can't discount the fact that when Jerry Waterson hits you, your unborn children feel it. That guy hits with heavy, heavy hands. And Wojo is just completely depleted on the side of the cage.
Wow, what a shock. Because, I mean, we're just talking about a tough fight into that point. We're talking about a one-sided fight, you know, until near the end of the second round.
Well, hats off to Jerry Waterson. He kept coming, sucked it up. He didn't look like he should be in better shape. And obviously he was. And the crowd absolutely loving this. 1 minute, 26 seconds into the third round. Referee Van Swerden not having any choice but having to get in there and put an end to this. And you can hear the crowd chanting Moose, Jerry the Moose Waterson, your new TXC heavyweight champion. Absolutely an impressive victory by this young man. Made a believer out of me, brother. And I'll tell you, these guys, some of the posts on the various internet boards before this, everybody could take a lesson from. Respectful, classy, just looking to come here, lay it on the line, and then have a beer after.
The end to this epic championship heavyweight TXC bout comes at 1 minute and 26 seconds in the third round. Your winner and new heavyweight TXC champion, Jerry the Moose Waterson.
Congratulations. And I got to say, the one thing that super impressed me, the first round you just unfortunately ran a clinic, but you can go to the second round completely adapted. I thought the only thing you could do was take the punch, stay in there. And you did that, man. What did your corner say to you before that second round? Because you came up with a much better strategy.
First off, I gotta say, I give all thanks to Christ for taking me. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be the man I am today. So he gets all the honor, all the glory. My corner, they just said, you gotta get in, you gotta close the distance. I was saying like that, so I let him in the page and such. So I did it. And I was shocked when I got the takedown. He was a great young guy, just one of the arms. Everybody talks about how his jiu-jitsu is great, so when I beat him down, I just want to punch him.
were you surprised that there was kind of no reaction from him when you had him on the ground?
Yeah, I thought he'd be a lot more active. But, it's a fight game, anything can happen. But I will say, there's a few times where he had me a little busy. He hits like a back shark. But also I got a big giant hard head. Fight buddy, Paul's guard, helped me out. Helped me get knocked out. Most things are plugged in. But yeah, that's awesome.
Now, what did you do in preparation for this fight? Because, you could tell he prepared. He knew he was fighting a southpaw. He did everything perfect against the southpaw. What did you do to prepare for this?
Well, first of all, I got these spiffy spandex shorts made by War. Check them out. But I've been training 6 days a week, 4 hours a day. As soon as we moved into the setup, I knew I was going to train as hard as I could. And luckily, it turned out like I wanted to.
At any point in this fight where you thought, man, I am just overmatched, this guy just has my number.
You know what? It was really the game plan, not so much to get beat up as much as I did, but to just come out and wear him out. I know that from training some of the best pros in the state, I do have a really hard head, so I knew I'd be able to take some shots. So I was really looking out for his head kick, and he threw on. So.
What was really fantastic, you went for both 7-0, both fights tough guys, and turned so hard for tonight. Fantastic feel, so fantastic. What's next from here?
Well, when I felt Van stepped in, between us is the best one in the world. I'm probably going to try to get one more amateur fight against somebody just as tough as Wojo, and then hopefully go pro.
Congratulations. Great turnaround.
Give a shout out. My beautiful wife, my mom, fight coach, all of my training partners. Everybody down the corner watching me. Thank you guys so much for doing this. And also, Joe Taggart, all my coaches, you guys are awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to take this opportunity right now to say thank you for coming out to this beautiful venue here. We have one more giveaway right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to hand the mic over to Mr. Sean Hassan. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please stop where you were sitting? Go back and look under your seats. If you've got a flyer for Bellator 64 sitting there right now, I need you to come up to the cage. I've got a pair of tickets for you. I want everybody to know. Come on up.